Hi friends, happy Friday. I hope everybody's doing well. Today's a special day. Again, we have two different things we are celebrating. Today is Public Gardens Day and No Socks Day. It's Friday, May 8th. What this means is today is a great day to go around with no socks. It's a great day to appreciate our feet being able to be grounded on the floor inside and in the soil outside, feeling the grass between our toes. Another thing we'll be looking at today during our Zoom meetings is public gardens. So public gardens, we have a couple different virtual tours we can go on around the world that we've found, and I think that'll be interesting to also look at the climates there at the places we've chosen. So we'll do that during Zooms today. So let's go ahead and take a look at our packet for our information today. Today is the 27th day. And for math, what we're doing is we're doing a Guess My Shape again. So this shape that you're going to write about in your math journal, it's two shapes actually. So they have 7 sides together. And what I want you to do is when you think you have figured out a good combination that could make 7 sides, I want you to draw the shapes in your math folder and have someone take a picture of it and send it to me. So we're also going to be using our shape robot from yesterday to complete the chart on page 10. Now the page 10 chart, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is page 10, and at the top it's got all of the different shapes that we could have used to make a shape robot. Here's the shape robot that I'm going to use for the chart. And then you fill it in. So what did you use for the head, the body, the legs, the feet, the arms, the hands? How many shapes did you use? How many sides did the shapes have? Now, number of angles. This means the inside corner pieces. How many corner pieces inside the object do you have? So for this shape, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the last part asks number of corners. This is the outside part. So these corners or vertices are the outside edges. How many of each do you have for that? That's on page 10. Again, we're using our shape robots for that. Now, after you've done that, the last thing we will do for math is we'll complete our exit ticket on that page we've been working on. So yesterday we worked on this gray shape. Today, day 27, we'll work on this gray shape, finding 2 shapes that could make it. Again, that is on page 11. And friends, you also have a wonderful video about shapes that'll be in the description box below. Now for module friends, we are going to be comparing 2 different texts that we've been reading. We've got Which Tree and Trees in Our Community. Now, Which Tree I read yesterday to us. Trees in Our Community we worked on last week. Both of these books will be important for answering the questions today. You may go ahead and choose now if you'd like to pause this video and go to the CMS link. It has a video as well in the description box below, and it reads both, I believe. And what we're going to do then, after all of that, is you're going to look on page 18. And it has 2 questions. It wants you to draw and write about the similarities and differences in those 2 texts. So the first part says, draw a picture and label the picture showing similarities between the 2 texts. So what did I do? I drew the tree, the maple tree, because it was in both stories. Now the next part says, draw a picture and label the picture that shows a difference between the 2 texts. So I put my picture up here, and instead I chose to write down here so I'd have enough space. Friends, if you find it different that you'd like to do it in a notebook so you can have 2 pictures and 2 sentences, you may do that. Now for this, I chose to go ahead and work on my sentences down here since the picture's up here. So they talk about the color of the maple tree in one story and talk about the maple syrup in the other story, but both talk about maple trees. So after you've done this, friends, you may then go ahead and watch that video if you didn't already, and then we'll move on to word work. So today for word work is hopping high frequency words. Now, what you'll need for this is your sight word cards. You can put them on the floor and hop to them as you say the word, or friends, if you'd like, we've had suggestions of people taking chalk, going outside and writing their words down on the pavement. You can also do it that way. You can write your sight words with chalk and then jump on them and say the word. Any way you can find to be moving your body and saying the sight words, that's what we're looking for. There's also a word work video that'll be in the description box below. Now, our last part, friends, is social studies. For social studies, friends, we are going to be working on climate again. Yesterday we started our conversation on it. Today we're going to continue that. We're going to be making a tree map about the climate. And then there's also a video you can look at. I'd suggest looking at the video first because it might give you some helpful hints about what to write. After you've watched the video, which is in the description box below, we're going to try our best to come up with a couple. It doesn't have to be 5. I know the paper says 5. 5 is really difficult. But we're going to try and come up with as many examples as we can of things that we do in our climate in Charlotte versus a different climate. So as you can see, friends, I chose the Arctic and I chose Charlotte weather. So in Charlotte, I can ride my bike in the fall and in the spring. That's something you can't do in the Arctic. In the Arctic, I might have to stay warm inside almost year-round. In the Arctic, I could fish in the ice. I could go fishing in the ice for fish to eat. In Charlotte, right near us, we have a lake where you could fish off a pier. In the Arctic, I could wear heavy coats often because it's always cold there. In Charlotte, I have many different layers that I wear all the time. Right now, I'm just wearing a shirt and some pants. Maybe a couple months before, I was wearing a jacket, though, because it was a lot colder. So, looking for the differences between our climate in Charlotte and another climate of your choosing. And that is all we have for today, friends. I hope you have an excellent day. I can't wait to see you during our Zoom meetings at either 8:30 or 12:30, and we'll talk about public gardens. I hope you're wearing no socks during that time. We're going to take a visit to a garden in Hawaii, actually. We're going to be looking at the climate there and what kinds of plants they have. It'll be really exciting. And then my office hours will remain the same from 10 to 11:30 and 1 to 2:30. Take care, my friends. See you soon.